Welcome to Chef Jesse's How to Break Down a Chicken, a whole chicken. So it's come to my attention that a lot of people don't know how to handle a whole bird. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to break down this bird, and then we're going to talk about how to actually cook a whole bird. So if you only want to know how to cook a whole bird, then skip along to this time right here. But if you want to know how to break down a whole chicken, stick around. We're going to get to it right now. All right, so you got your whole bird. Of course, I'm pretty sure you know everything you know about a bird. Pretty much, you got your legs. Okay, there's your drumstick, your thigh, your wings. Okay, breasts. But it's very simple. I always start with my thighs. So you're gonna pull it, cut the skin. I always pull it away from the bird. Helps me to see where I'm cutting. Cut the crease. Then you're gonna find that joint right here. And now you just pop it just like that, and then you cut around it. Okay, and there you have a bone-in chicken thigh and drumstick. Now you can even go any further if you just want the thigh separated from the drumstick. And you're gonna cut it just like the same way you just did, right around that knee joint. Okay, and there you go. Now you got your bone-in thigh, and you got your drumstick, in case you wanted to fry up a drumstick and just grill your thigh. There you go, you got your two thighs, skin on. You could peel this off, of course. So to remove the wings, you're pretty much going to do the same thing. Of course, you can see right here where you got this flap of skin. Just gonna cut that right to where that joint is. Pop that joint. And then cut through the bone. You got your little winglet. Now, of course there's no meat on here, so you get your scissors and you can cut those off easily. But same with where the wing attaches to the back. You're gonna cut it, find that joint, separate it just like that. There you go. So now your wings are separated, your thighs and your drumsticks are separated. Now comes your breast. Okay. Now to make it easier right now, I'm gonna peel the skin off, because it'll make it easier to show you where I'm cutting. And again, keep that skin. Don't get rid of that skin. It's quite delicious. So if you can see right here, you see this little line. Always start and follow that. That'll give me a good area to start peeling back from the ribs. Now, here's where you want to be a little careful, okay? So you've got your breast, but below the breast is what's called your tenderloin, okay? Your little chicken tenders, the chicken tenders that you see in the store. So you don't want to cut too far down. You just want to cut where it starts to separate, and you can see here. Breast, right here is your little tenderloin, your chicken tender, okay? Now, a lot of times, this will be a part of your breast. Sometimes, and you can cook it all together, and it's good. But if you want to continue to break down your bird and have different cuts of meats, because these are really delicious for just throwing on the grill or throwing on the cast iron. It's very tender meat, making your taco meats out of it and stuff like that. So there you go. Here's your breast meat and your chicken tender, your little tender meat. There you go. So now you just got your carcass of the bird. You take this carcass you have here and you can roast it and you can make your chicken broth out of it. Perfect stuff. I will not throw this away. Keep this, package it up, freeze it until you're ready to roast it with some more, and then you got your good chicken breast. So that right there is how you break down a chicken. Very simple. You got your wings, your winglets, your wings, your thighs, your drumsticks, and your breasts and your loins, or your tenders. Welcome to How to Cook a Whole Bird 101. Okay? The techniques I'm going to share with you today can be used either grilling or roasting in an oven. Same temperature, same length of time, same techniques. So let's get to it. Okay, so what you're going to need. We've got olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, Kinder's, wood fire garlic. You don't have to use this, but it's one of my favorite seasonings. A pair of really sharp scissors. And your bird. Okay, so my all-time favorite way to cook chicken, any chicken, whole chicken, is spatchcocking. Okay? It makes it a lot easier. It cooks more even. Okay? So whether if you're on the grill or you're in an oven and you have a pan about this size, spatchcocking the bird is going to allow this breast meat and everything to lay out flat and just cook even and be a lot more juicy. At least I believe that, and from how I've cooked them many times, it definitely reigns true. So first thing I do when I'm going to cook a bird, I cut off these little wing pieces. Now the reason I do that is because these tips will cook real quick and real fast, and then it'll actually cook these way too fast and your wings will just be useless. Okay? So after that, you flip it over and you give it a little smack. You don't have to smack it. I just thought that was kind of cool. I see it on TV all the time. You take your really sharp scissors and you're going to cut down each side of the backbone. Remember if you watched me break down the bird, you pay attention to where the thighs meet the backbone. There's a joint right here. So you want to cut between that joint and the backbone. Now it's pretty tough, so that's where sharp scissors come in handy, because you are cutting through bone, like the ribs and everything like that. So, and the same with your wing, where your drum attaches to the back, you want to cut between that bone as well, just like that. Okay. Now of course you're cut through everything else inside. And then you want to do that on both sides. You don't have to do it on both sides. I know there's a lot of people who will spatchcock it like this, leave the backbone on, and then they'll cut the backbone off later and then use it to roast and make chicken broth. But don't throw your backbone away. Keep your backbone. Okay? Now this is like the easy fun part, okay? There's multiple ways of doing this. You could get a knife and you can score on the inside right here. If you can see, you got these nice little lines. They go straight up. You can score those like this. Yeah, I know I'm using the scissors, but you can use a knife. Okay, all it pretty much does is it opens up the meat. Okay, so you can take your bird. I like to grab it up top because that's where it's going to be the toughest, and just pop it. You see how where I scored it? It allowed it to pop. A lot of people will flip it over and do all that. Like the highlight, pop, boom, and now you have spatchcocked your chicken. All right, so after you've done this, you take your olive oil and you just give it a good sprinkle. Okay? You want to take your hands, get all up in the creases. All up in the creases. Open up the legs, get all up in there, everywhere. Everywhere, okay? Olive oil is going to do two things. The olive oil is going to help your seasoning stick, but also it's going to give you the outside of the bird a real nice like the skin is going to have a real nice little crisp to it. I like to rub it, I like to put it all over the inside. Everywhere I can put olive oil, okay? We're going to leave it flip like this. Now we take our season and get a real nice sprinkling. And get it everywhere you can. You can rub it. That's why it's called a rub. Rub it all over there. All over it. Flip it over. Same thing. You want to get in the creases. Just rub it down. What I do next is I let it rest. I let it sit. I let the salt that's in this seasoning really kind of pull a little bit of the moisture out and soak into it. And then now we get the grill ready. Okay, so whether it's your oven, your grill, or anything, you want it to be about 350 to 375. All right, that's good. That's just a good temperature to cook chicken at, and that way it won't take so long, but you still have a good juicy bird. That's not part of it. And then you put the bird on. If you're in the oven, you can use a pan like this, a deep pan it's going to fit into. That way you can catch some of the juices. It'd be nice and tender too. On the grill, slide on the grates. Let that thing cook. Probably take about an hour, hour and a half. Alright, so I always pull mine out when the internal temperature of the breast is about 164. Because then you're going to want to let it rest. And as it rests, it's going to continue to cook and get up to the temperature. So right now, I'll just check the temperature. It's 164. I lost my tongs. Why are you doing tongs? And there you have it, ladies and gents. It's absolutely beautiful, juicy spatchcock bird. Now you do this in the oven, on a grill. It's going to turn out delicious. Woo! And just juicy. So now we just let it rest and enjoy.